1, 2, 3. Mark. Okay. Today, what we have planned for you guys is we're going to read Reddit posts from subreddit Relationship Advice. And we're just going to give our own opinions about things, how they should handle them, how we think they should handle them. And
yeah.
You want to read the first one you got?
You can go if you have one ready.
Okay. My fiance spent all the money that we were saving for our wedding on a gaming PC. And now all he does all day is play video games. He has totally ignored me and has forgotten I even exist at all in the house. He also stopped doing all the house chores and has also totally ignored his work that he was supposed to do from home.
Girl, I feel you. I'm kidding.
What? I don't be gaming. I play games, but not like that. I don't completely ignore you, but yeah.
Honestly, it's crazy the fact that he just spent all of their savings. I'm guessing it was both of theirs, like it was hers and his.
Yeah, for the wedding.
For the wedding?
It was for they both were saving money for the wedding, and he took that money and bought a computer.
I would be so mad. That's a lot.
Are you calling the wedding off?
I feel like that would say so much about what like his priorities, one, and the way he doesn't even like respect what you have to say, your plans, and how it may affect you. Like I wouldn't even have anything to say. I would just be like, what? Yeah.
At that point, it sounds like he doesn't even want to get married at all.
Yeah, he's just there.
That's probably using that as an excuse, not even an excuse, not probably spending that money so you don't have to get married anymore.
Probably.
You know
I
mean?
feel like at that point, he just doesn't have anything to lose. Like, if you guys break up, maybe that is the good ending for him. You know?
Without him having to say it.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I would just break up with him. Like, I know it's going to be hard since, like, the fact that there's marriage on the line, but you don't want a marriage like that.
Yes. If he's doing this, already a red flag. Leave, get out of there, do something new. Take the money that you lost.
I would honestly take it, I would sell it, and I would keep the money.
So act like everything's good.
Yeah,
sell the
act
PC,
like everything is good.
And then
put
leave
it
him.
somewhere, get the money, get all your stuff. Leave a note, be nice.
I'm just thinking, go ahead and leave. Take your L and leave. She's like, nah, take that computer, sell that, and then get that money and then go. Which I agree with. Okay. Leave.
All
right, what do you got?
Okay, here. I left a stack of condoms under the nightstand while I was away from my girlfriend for a month. When I came back, I found way less.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, so it sounds like
he left a stack of condoms.
You approach her and you ask her.
Does it mean that he counted the condoms before he left, knowing that something, or did he just?
Well, he said there was a stack of condoms, and I think when you put them down, you kind of just photographically remember what it kind of looks like, and then when he came back, he's saying there's way less. So they were used.
I guess
she probably used them.
So how do you ask?
I think you just go straight up to her and say, hey, there were condoms at the nightstand. There were about this many, and now there's a lot less. Did you have anything to do with this?
What if she just lies and she's just like, no?
Then you just say, they were there beforehand, and now there's a lot less. So what do we do?
I would just ask. I don't think there's any other way to go about it.
Yeah, and if she says, no, they're not mine, does he just is always on his toes from now on?
I feel like no matter, he probably will be. What I would do is is to restock the condom.
Restock and then leave for a little bit.
Come back. I don't know what else. I feel like and maybe he would have a sense if she's lying or not, like when she says no or yes,
I think that if she's done it once, she's going to do it again eventually.
Yeah.
And
or leave the amount of columns that are there, and then, I don't know, maybe leave for a weekend, come back.
But it's tough because at that point, it's always on his mind now. and his
Yeah.
relationship with her isn't the same.
Yeah.
Something had to have happened with the condoms.
I think if she wants the relationship to work, she's going to be the one pursuing the conversation and not waiting for you to start it, because I feel like that's a big conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it has something to do with sex, or like him not fully feeling secure in a relationship, I feel like that's a serious conversation. And anybody that would want the relationship to work, they would really want to have the conversation instead of just saying no.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
True.
So if she says no, that
she
means
says,
she
she
doesn't
says
really
no
care.
and then just leaves it at that.
Yeah.
But if she says no and gives you a little bit more and really wants it to
Yeah.
work, then
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be more to it.
I see that. I see. Okay, let me see what I got here. Me and my girlfriend have been going out for 8 months. We didn't have sex together right away and only did it a few weeks ago. I was a virgin before and I'm not experienced at all. And so far, I've not been able to make her come. Before dating me, my girlfriend was dating my brother.
What?
It was awkward at first, but we're all okay now. Anyway, so last night I tried my best to make her come, but in the end she told me, just stop. So I did. Then she said, your brother turned me on so much more than you do.
No. Oh my God.
She got dressed and left the house and we haven't spoken yet. I just feel so confused about how I feel. I know I'm not as attractive as my brother, but I didn't think she would say something like that.
That's so traumatizing.
One, why are you dating one of your brother's exes?
Yeah. And I feel like you should already know that it's going to be a problem, even if it's not.
Yeah.
Like how he says that. The fact that she's comparing them during sex or after sex.
Yeah. So just because
That's
she said
crazy.
it that time, it automatically means she's been thinking about this.
Yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as, oh, it just came out of my mouth. It's coming from somewhere.
Yeah. And already I'm thinking that she's only with you because she still likes your brother. And she still wants to be in that vicinity
That
of him.
environment, yeah.
And so you're that stepping stone to keep in touch
so
with
sad
him.
for the guy. About them, I thought it was just gonna be the fact that she can't come, and he's like finding it hard to kind of, have a good.
Well, he's a
sex life
virgin.
with
He's
her.
just starting out. He doesn't really know what's
Yeah.
going on. He's learning.
It sounds like he's just there, and she's just using him.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But also, side note, it's actually hard for a lot of women to come. So it might not be the guys, just the fact that
What are you trying to say right now?
I'm just saying it might not just have to do with the fact that he's a virgin,
Yeah.
It's just another factor to it.
Immediately, he should just leave her, dump her anyway, and move on because that's.
I just
not
don't
gonna
think
last.
it's gonna work.
No,
like,
not at all.
How would that work? The fact that it's being brought up, she dated your brother, just moved on to you after. I don't know.
She's using you to stay close to him, and now she's comparing you to him. Leave her, dump her, and move on.
Yes.
Okay.
Easy. Just dumb her. This one is long, so I'm gonna make it shorter.
Okay.
Girlfriend meeting. This is the title of the question. Girlfriend meeting up with guys one-on-one on regular basis without telling me. And I only find out weeks later. And I think he means like it just somehow comes up.
And is it like she's just meeting them and she's saying, oh, they're just friends, don't worry.
Yeah. But not even before she meets them or right after. He kind of finds out about it like weeks later.
To me,
the way he also said something here, where did he say it? The way he phrased it just makes me, I feel like says a lot about him and how he wants the relationship to work. He says, I need help making sure I can manage my anxiety about it without controlling her in any way. I feel like just that sentence alone says so much. The fact that he's not attacking her, he doesn't want to attack her. He doesn't want to get mad at her. He wants to fix it. He wants to he's like, how do I help my anxiety? Like, he's not projecting at all. There's no projection. He's like, what do I do? Like, he's like asking for help, Yeah. And I feel like that says a lot. The fact that I just feel bad.
Yeah. I think what I would do in this situation, I would approach her and tell her the first time, hey, I don't like you meeting up these guys one-on-one. It makes me feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
Maybe if you let me know beforehand, it would kind of ease my mind. But to see it happen and find out later on
Yeah.
is really off to me.
I feel like that's something people talk about. I feel like it's like a regular thing that people talk about. Like, are you okay with me having guy friends and girlfriends as a start, and then it kind of moves to like, can I meet with them without you, or how would you feel if I were to hang out with them, but you're not gonna be there? But the fact that they didn't have the conversation, so I feel like that's the first step, like to have this conversation, and then if it does bother him and she doesn't really care about it, then there's nothing really you can do.
What is your take on that as far as, let's say I had a female friend and I was like, hey, I'm going to go hang out with so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'll be back later.
If you just said it like that and just left, I'll be upset.
Yeah.
I would obviously be overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just because I'm expecting more from you than just like, bless you, then just leave me to it. Like, leave me to make up my own scenarios instead of you giving me how exactly it's going to play out so I don't have to worry. Like, that's just going to make me, I don't know.
I feel like no matter what we did, it still wouldn't be okay. Like, if it's like a work thing, maybe, but just to go out and hang out with a female friend, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, that's just weird.
I could see how people can have like opposite gender friendships and just go out without their girlfriends or boyfriends. Like, I could see it happening, but I feel like a lot of the times people use that to hang out in a way different way. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the friendship vibe at all. Like, there's a weird like tension between there. You know, it's not just friends.
I do believe guys and girls can be friends, but I don't see a reason for me to go or you go hang out with one of your guy friends, just you two.
Yeah. Like, I feel like
it's just uncomfortable.
You would be there.
Yeah.
I would want you there.
Yeah.
If there was any other scenario that I have to go out with them and you cannot be there, I would tell you about it. And I feel like I would do my best to reassure before I leave and after that it's literally just a friend. And I feel like for me to even go out with that friend and still have them in my life as a friend, I would need you to be okay with them being in my life as that. Like, and I don't think I would have any friends that would make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
We've never come across a situation like this where I go hang out with one of my female friends like that, but I guess it's just kind of common sense. I don't want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, even though, let's say, you were comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't want to put you in that situation.
Yeah.
To feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
know?
I think it's the
There's no
consideration
reason
that
for it.
matters. Like,
Yeah.
you have to think about, is it going to affect them? How might it affect them? Like, the fact that you care that it might affect your partner, I feel like that should be the first.
Yeah. And 9.9 out of 10 times, if your partner wants to hang out with one of their opposite sex friends, just them, it's probably because they're doing something they're not supposed to, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like just wanting to do
Yeah.
too much. Like, why do you want to hang out that much?
yeah.
Like, okay, you can hang out, but why? Like, the fact that they're like,
Like
no, I need to,
texting, and then they're setting it up.
and planning
Yeah.
and just doing it's like,
Okay. Next one. TLDR. Boyfriend is incapable of doing any household chores. He wants to move in together. I don't want to be his maid, and we can't find any compromise. I would love any suggestions.
You have to communicate before you guys move in and figure out if you guys dividing the chores. Figure out if he is expecting you to do all the chores, if that's just his. I feel like a lot of men expect that moving in with their girlfriends. So I feel like that's just something to talk about, like where both of your minds are about it. And what I was going to say is that probably not all, but I feel like a lot of the girls just by nature are very giving and will want to take care of our boyfriends and partners. But once we feel like it's like too expected and there's too much pressure and we feel like we have to do it, I feel like it becomes like a chore to do instead of, oh, this is just something I love to do for him. I love to clean our house and I love to clean our space and it's for us. And I feel like once it's for us and once I just feel like I'm doing this because I love you and this is what I could bring to the table, then it's not a problem. But once it starts feeling like you're a woman and you're like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is what it's giving. It's giving like she's like, oh, he doesn't do any of it. But I think it just takes an offer, like for him to just offer like, hey, do you need help with anything? Or like, let me help you with this, and just do something small just to like make her realize that like, you know, both of you are in it.
One, don't move in with him yet. And you should get to a point where you know, like you said, you know his habits. You know how clean he is when he's by himself or around his own house, and see how he maneuvers. And then from there, you can determine if you should move in or not. And then if you notice that he is not as clean, you got to kind of feel out and ask him, like, when we move in together, are you willing to do the laundry? Are you willing to do the dishes? Are you willing to vacuum and clean and stuff?
Yeah.
And in this post, actually, she says that he wanted to split 50-50, but then his 50, he was going to hire a maid.
What about her 50?
She does her 50. And then his 50%. I see his kind of logic there, but that's not it, bro. I see where his head is at,
oh my
but that
God.
doesn't work in any situation.
Some people deal with that.
Yeah. No, we'll split it 50-50, but
my 50 is covered though. I don't know. You get your 50 figured out.
Are you looking for a job?
That's
because I'll pay.
Oh my
don't
God.
move in with him. And if he wants to be like this, and you have to think, is this going to be your life partner? And do you want this for the rest of your life? Somebody who's not going to help you do the house chores. And even if you guys are able to hire a maid down the future, there's so many other things that this says that is just red flags and not somebody that is mature enough to be with long term.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like... I feel like it's not just a cleaning problem here. That's way deep than cleaning.
Don't move in, girl. Stay away. Wait a little bit. A lot of it.
Maybe a lot of it. Okay, this one, I actually have a lot to say because I have personal experience. And I think a lot of girls do, actually.
Is it with me?
No. Thank God. I caught my boyfriend looking at other girls' profiles. What should I do? And in the context, it's very long, so I'm just going to... Basically, she asks him to use his phone for something because her phone was not around. When she asks his phone, he starts deleting the tabs. And when she sees that, she kind of grabs his phone. She's like, what are you doing? And then she sees that a lot of his searches are girls' profiles. And not just on Instagram, it's Facebook and Instagram. I'm guessing she's just talking about the two social medias. But yeah, she's asking, what should she do? So how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I feel like he has a wandering eye. He's looking elsewhere for satisfaction in an area that he shouldn't be looking. He wants these girls, he wants to look at them when he has a partner. So if he is not satisfied with you, then he needs to tell you and he needs to just go.
The dumbest thing that I've ever heard when I asked a guy why he does that, he said, because they like shoes.
What? They like shoes?
He literally said, because they like shoes and like we like the same style.
So I am looking at their profile because they got nice style.
Yes, because they got nice shoes. When you look at the girls' profiles, 90, when I say 90, I'm not even exaggerating. Like 90% of her Instagram was literally her in a bikini. And I'm not hating, like she looked good, yes. But it's the fact that he's there like lying as if I can't see it. And it's just a straight up, I feel like goes into defense. And I feel like a lot of guys react like that when they know they're doing something wrong. They just go into defense and they're like, It's just for like, it's just social media. There's nothing wrong.
It's just network. We both have the same.
Yeah,
it's
like
just-
what?
I'm
She doesn't
potentially
even
getting
follow
work
you
from her.
back. She doesn't know you. You're there like thirsting over some girl. Like it just looks sad. And I feel like as your girlfriend, you would look at that and be like, what? Like it's so sad as a girlfriend to look at that. I feel like it's just one, it makes you start feeling insecure. Second, it starts making you feel like you're lacking something that they want and they're looking for it somewhere else. And that person where they're looking at, they're not even looking at your partner. Like, so it just makes you feel stupid as, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
So what'd you do?
I think if it were to happen now, I would obviously have a conversation with you. I would ask you if it was job related that you were looking, that you were, I don't know, like seeking models for something. But I feel like when you do, you either tell me or, I don't know, like, I don't think it would be. Wouldn't.
Okay, maybe I could see the case. Like I work as a filmmaker and I do music videos, and a lot of times we're looking for models and artists, but
I feel like it wouldn't be through Instagram just searching by, you know?
Typing people's names. Yeah. I'll go through a modeling agency or something like that.
So I would probably just ask you, like, do you know them? What were you looking at? I would look at their profiles for sure.
Yeah.
And if all of their profiles are just kind of the same, I would obviously know what you were looking at.
So when you saw them and you saw him, that he was looking at all these girls?
Honestly, I wasn't dating the guy. It was like a long, prolonged, shouldn't have happened type of situationship. Mm-hmm. And I think now looking back, I just wish that like just didn't even bring it up. I feel like I should have just left. But I stayed because I just didn't want to be alone. It was like better that than alone.
Okay. So if your man is looking at other people's profiles, you have every right to be upset. And if they are in the wrong, they're most likely going to turn into defensive mode and turn it on you and be like, hey, you have nothing to worry about. Why are you tripping? It's just a girl's profile. It's just social media. It's just a like. It's just a follow. Saying
it's just social media doesn't help. I feel like it's just what guys and probably girls, I don't want to just say guys, but people just hear a lot. It's just social media. So it becomes that one argument to say back, you know?
2024, unfollowing all models that have no idea who you are. And maybe even if they do know who you are, if they're not bringing any value into your life, unfollow them. There's no, especially if you have a partner.
Listen to my man. Unfollow them.
To my man. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are my bangs banging?
They're banging, baby. Okay.
I feel like you didn't kiss me in a while.
My lips are so hydrated now. Okay, here we go. My boyfriend recently told me that he does not like when I wear makeup, when I get my nails done, when I straighten my curly hair, or when I wear perfume. He said when I do, I am a fake person, I am disrespecting him, and he constantly says I smell like a whore.
Smelling like a whore is crazy.
Mind you, he knew before we started dating that I like to do all those things that I listed. I love my perfume. I love smelling good. I don't see any issue with it. I've told him multiple times that this is very disrespectful to me. I smell like a whore, and to tell me I smell like a whore, and his rebuttal is that is what whores smell like.
He goes even more.
I told him I feel like he's trying to change me, control me, and disrespectfully. He claims that he isn't.
First of all, that man probably stinks. I feel bad for us girls. First of all, if any man ever tells you not to do your makeup or not to do your hair, I feel like that's the biggest red flag ever. The fact that man doesn't, like, it's already known that girls do it to feel good. Even if they do it for attention, for whatever it is their reason, just let them. If she's with you already and you're suspecting the fact that she's doing makeup for somebody else, like, that's already such a problem. a lot of the times girls, I feel like, do the whole skincare and makeup to like, it just genuinely makes us feel good. It makes you feel like you're ready for the day. It makes you feel good. Like, we're not gonna get out of the house not feeling ready. And the fact that your partner, the one person that is supposed to make you feel beautiful, supposed to support you and actually like encourage you to feel pretty, encourage you to take care of yourself, is telling you smell like a whore, is crazy.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level. That's already like,
like
too much.
throwing words is a no. Like, it's so disrespectful. Like, I feel like there's no comeback from that. If there was ever a time you ever throw a word at me like that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get all my stuff.
That would be crazy if I called you a
That would be, I don't think it would even process. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's okay. For some reason, whore, not to like say which one is worse, but like whore over a bitch. Like, I feel like bitch is so like overused that it's kind of like, but calling your girlfriend a whore, like, that's
like
a
you
lot.
took some time to process it in your head, and you're like, it's good.
That's
Whore.
a lot to say. No, I wouldn't like to even ask an advice. The best advice is to leave and block. Like, you're not gonna. There's so much better, and he has to learn that that's like, you have to put him in his place and not just leave. Like, and I feel like if he's an aggressive type, then just leave, obviously. But if you know you can say something without being like endangered, I would really say to put himself in his place.
You asked, is he trying to control me? Absolutely, yes. He's trying to control you. He doesn't want you to look your best.
He's insecure.
Yeah, he's insecure. And you were doing all these things before you guys got together. So he knew what he was getting himself into. Maybe, I could see maybe like you weren't doing any of this, and then you're in your relationship, and then years go by, and then you start putting all kinds of stuff on. Then maybe he has a valid reason to be like, hey, what's going on? You're like changing up a little bit. But even then, like, yeah, you can acknowledge that the person is changing. You can acknowledge that your partner is like getting new, like, what is it? Not habits, hobbies. Yeah.
Like, it could be as a hobby. It could be like a new thing you're trying out. And I feel like questioning your partner, like, hey, yo, what are you doing? You're changing, is already so discouraging.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's her first time learning how to do makeup? Yeah. What if she's never done makeup? And this is like, she already feels a little weird and a little shy putting makeup, and you're here pointing it out, not really encouraging, you're discouraging it. Like, and you're her partner. Like, I feel like that's hits so much harder when it's your own partner that does that.
Yeah. He is trying to control you, and calling you a whore is just crazy.
That's like
that immediately you walk out,
yeah.
And leave them. But yeah, you have every right to do what you want to do and look how you want to look, and you should find a partner who accepts who you are and what you like to do.
And encourages you to do those things that you actually want to do.
Your
Go
turn?
smell like a whore, girl.
Hopefully you don't smell like a whore.
Okay. I get anxiety separation when my boyfriend leaves. We're in a long distance relationship. Every time he leaves, I get anxious. How do I manage?
That's tough. Because I can see him being away for a long time, and he finally comes and sees you after forever.
And
but you just know in the back of your mind, like, this feeling isn't.
You're just anticipating him leaving.
Oh, and then he finally leaves, and then you have anxiety.
Yeah.
So all these feelings, I'm sure you're not the only person. A lot of people go through this too. But you have to also think, okay, we're in this longer distance relationship. Is there a plan to get together eventually? And if there is, are you okay with having these feelings every single time he leaves?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that would actually help. Like, talking about the end goal. Like, how long are you guys doing long distance? Is there like a compromise from either side? Like, maybe is he willing to relocate, or are you willing to relocate to help if it's like getting too much? And I feel like also long distance is already so hard that for anxiously attached people is going to be like twice as hard if you get anxious when he leaves. So I would say find a way to, one, soothe yourself, and find a way that he can soothe you, because no matter how much you can self-regulate, your partner is going to help you in a different way that I think could help the anxiety even more than self-regulation. Like self-regulation, like I feel like help myself, but then I don't fully feel okay until I talk to you, and then it just completely goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say it's not going to just take one conversation, but to find a way that he can soothe your anxiety from the distance. Maybe it could be like a ritual call, or like a text message he can send you, or like something that's going to be repeated over and over without you having to ask. It's just going to be there and you know it, so it's going to provide more security,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. I think she does need to have this conversation with him, and you shouldn't just be bottling all these emotions
Don't
and
bottle.
thoughts up without him knowing what's going on, because you can have all these feelings and feel anxious, and he's just thinking everything's okay. And
It's okay to feel anxious. I think it's not bad, but I think what could potentially be bad is bottling it up, and anxiety is going to turn into like, I don't know, like resentment or some sort of like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, instead of, hey, let's fix this. This is because of long distance.
Yeah. And then after you have that conversation, if you guys are willing to meet each other somewhere down the line, then there's no other choice but to stick it out. But if there is no
Yeah.
plan, then you really got to think, what does this relationship mean to you? And should we stay together, or should we go separate ways?
Would you ever do long distance?
I would. I have.
Oh, yeah, you have.
I've done long distance in the past.
Would you recommend people doing long distance, or just not even trying it?
Of course, it's by the person, but if you love somebody and you want to be with them, distance isn't going to break you apart if you really are willing to work through everything that comes with. And it's going to take effort on both sides. You're going to have to call each other. You're going to have to FaceTime. You're going to have to send text messages more often than you would if you're in the same city with somebody. It's going to take that little bit of extra effort to make sure that you and your partner feel safe. And then hopefully down the line you come together.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to do that, then they're not willing to give you what you need, and that brings up other issues. Then move on.
I definitely think it takes so much courage to do long distance.
I almost moved away from her for work. And I didn't know that you were feeling as anxious as you were.
I didn't want to, like, because I felt like you were dealing with so much already. Like, to relocate for work is already so much. And you were talking about leaving one work for another, and you weren't sure. And then, like, finding a place. And I was like, me telling him that I feel anxious as fuck right now is not going to help. But I think what I should have done is actually tell you, but not make it a big deal. Because I think in my head, my anxiety got so much worse because I didn't say it out loud, you know? Yeah. So it just like, it got exaggerated in my head instead of it's okay, he's moving, but I'm going to go see him. He's going to come here.
I think I wasn't as anxious because I have done it before and I know what it takes to make it work. So I was okay with it, but that I didn't take into account how you would feel as much as I should have.
I think also you thought that I was going to move to you a lot more sooner than I had in mind. And that's because like we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm here thinking I'm going to only go there in a year. Like it's going to be a whole year for us to do long distance. And that's when me and you started dating. So it's like long distance just like from the start. And I never done long distance. I never thought that I would do long distance. And I think if we talked about it, maybe I would have been less. But the reason why I didn't wasn't to like, it was more.
Yeah, you thought I had a lot on my mind already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't ever feel like you should hold that back. Just if you feel you are a priority and everything else is not as above you. So if you tell me, babe, I'm really not feeling good about this, then let's sit down and let's talk and let's figure out other options that we have. But at that time, I was thinking, okay, I was thinking about our future. I was thinking about where I'm at right now is not going to give us what we want in the future. So if I make this move, I can start making more money and our life will be better. And then when you're ready, you can move in with me.
Exactly. And I think because when you told me about it, I never heard the conversation in a way as in like, I'm moving to do me and we'll figure it out. Yeah. It sounded like I'm going there to figure out for us. And there was a second where it kind of felt selfish of me to be like, hey, like, I feel like I don't feel secure. Like I feel anxious about you moving there, even though it's for us. And the way you've been talking about the move, you were so like confident that it's going to be positive for you and for the relationship that it was like, there's no way that I'm telling him not to move, one, and second, that I feel anxious.
Yeah. I was honestly thinking, and I voiced it to you, that if I moved, I knew you would miss me a lot and you would move down sooner.
I probably would have.
But yeah.
I think long distance is so hard. And honestly, to all the couples that do it, like, I give it up so much. Like, it takes so much to do that.
Yeah. And you, like I said earlier, you really have to go out of your way and make that extra effort to make your partner feel secure.
Yeah.
Just because you don't need it doesn't mean your partner doesn't need it. Okay. Well, that is first episode of reading relationship advice questions from Reddit. If you guys have any questions for us or anything that you're going through that you'd love our opinion on, we'd love to give you our opinion.
We would love to talk about it.
Yeah. But thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.